This is the video continuation to the last one, and in this video we are going to discuss more about comments and multiple examples with the cin function. So in last video we discussed what is comment. Suppose if we want to ignore certain instructions by compiler, then we use the comment. And in the comments we have a two type of comments. One is the single line comment and another one is the multiple line comment. Okay. Last time we saw how we can write a single line comment and the shortcut for that control plus slash in VS Code. And now we'll discuss about the multi-line comment. It basically, you know, used to explain the logics in detail. Suppose if I want to write my own documentation or, you know, want to explain certain function in detailed way, then this multi-line comments will come to rescue. Okay. And I want to give a simple analogy for that one. Suppose if you have a book and there are a number of paragraphs in it, and I just want to highlight that certain paragraph and says, don't read this now. That is what compiler do here when we use the multi-line comment. It simply skips completely. Okay. Now how we can write multi-line comment? We can use the slash and asterisk and it automatically create the asterisk and the slash at end, and in between we can write our doc notes, documentation notes. Example for multi-line comment. Okay, that that is all about the multi-line comment. Now we are going to discuss about cin function examples. In last video we saw example on how user provide input in the console and it will store into our variable. Okay, only single value that provided by the user and it will store into the variable. And we did not discuss, suppose user want to provide multiple values in a console, then how we can store it. Suppose let's take an example. User want to provide three random numbers and we want to store it in a three different variable. In this case, how we can use this cin function. So for that, first we need to define variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. These are the three variables I need to define it. And then I need to provide some message on our console. Cout, please enter multiple values. Okay. So this is the message I want to display it on a console. Then once user enter the, let me write it specifically here. Please enter three multiple values. Okay. Now I want to grab all these three values using the cin function and want to store it in variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. And after I'm storing it and again I want to display it on a screen, for that again I'm using the cout function. User entered values var1 space var2 space var3, and I want to handle end of the line. Okay, now let me run this code. It is asking to enter the first random number and please enter three multiple values. So 5, 8, 9, three multiple random values. And if you observe all these multiple values, random multiple values, I provided in console using the spaces. So see in behind the scenes what happening? See in function, whenever it finds a space, it is treating it as a new variable. Okay. Then it is storing that new variable in this another variable. First, it is taking the 5 and storing it in a variable one, and after it finding the space, and second one treated as a new variable, and it is storing in a variable 2, and after again it finding the space, and it is taking the new variable, and it is storing in a variable 3. Okay, that is how the cin function works. And also behind the scenes, it also do another thing. After we enter this three multiple values and press enter, it creates a new line. Okay, this is what happening the behind the scenes. Now I want to explain the cin further with a string. How cin works with a string. Suppose I want to a random name. Okay, and I want to display some message on a console. Please enter some random name. Then I want to store it in our random name. Once user enter, then I want to display again it back on our console. User entered name, okay, and random name and std. Okay, now I'm saving this program and running this. It is asking to enter the random number. I entered random multiple three multiple values 5 comma 7 comma 9. Okay, and here it is asking to enter some random name. Okay, now suppose if I type Surya Ambati, then what will be the output that we are going to get it? We are going to get it only the first five letters. Surya only we are going to get it because in the name we are providing a space. So in the last function, in the last example, we saw that whenever cin finds a white space, it automatically treat it as a new variable. Even in the case of a string also, whenever it finds a white space, it treat it as a new variable, and it only takes the first five letters. It won't take the letters after space. That is what happening. So let's see. Once I enter, it is only taking the first five letters. I mean, before the space only it is taking. Okay. To overcome this issue, and suppose if we want to take the entire uh, string, including spaces, then we need to use the another function. Instead of cin function, we need to use another function called getLine. So getLine is the function available in the string library. That getLine function generally takes the two arguments. The first argument is the uh, function, which is the cin function in this case, and also second argument is the where we want to store that uh, input receiving from the console in this variable, right? Random name variable, right? That random name variable we need to pass it as a second argument. Let me write it. So since this is also available in standard template library, then I'm using the std namespace getLine and bracket open, and first I need to use the argument cin, right? Cin, comma. Second argument is a random name, and I'm closing this. Okay. Now, once I run this program, what you guys are going to expect? Uh, we are going to get it. We should get it the entire name, correct? But once we run this program doesn't allow us to write a random name. A name. Why? Because we discussed before. Whenever we entered this variable, right, it provides a empty space or a new line. Uh, New line after we enter these variables. So getLine sees this new lines immediately and it thinks this new line is empty or the random name is empty and it finally returns that empty string. That is what going to happen. Let me run and show you what it means. So suppose if I run this file and first it is going to ask the random number 7 and then three numbers with the spaces I'm providing, then only it will take it has a three different variables and I'm pressing enter, and once I press the enter the program is going to end it. That is what I meant. See, it is not allowing us to enter any random name because getLine says this new line whatever the cin produces after we enter the variable 1 2 3, right, thinks that is an a line for the random name and it thinks it is an empty and finally it is returning the same empty one. So to overcome this issue, then we need to use the another function which is called stdcin.ignore. So by using this cin.ignore, we can clean the input buffer. It uh, it allows getLine to read the data whatever we are entering, or it cleans that basically that new line. It cleans that input buffer. That is what it happened by using the cin.ignore. Okay. Now we run again this program and see how it works. First, it is asking some random number and three multiple values 4, comma 7, comma 9. It's now if you see this, it is allowing us to enter some name. Now if I write Surya Ambati with space and let's see, we are going to get the complete string with a space. So this is how we can use the getLine. Okay, this is why we need to use the getLine instead of cin in this case. If we want to capture the entire string with the spaces, then we need to use the getLine. So so the let me reiterate what we discussed in this video. In this video, we discussed about comments and types of comments, single line comment and multiple line comment, and also what if user uh, provide multiple values in a console and how we can read it and store it, and also how a string also you know how we can a user can provide a string with spaces. That is also one of the example that we saw here just now. So that's it in this video. I'll come up with some other topics. Thank you.